Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, and this is a vlog of my late autism and ADHD diagnosis experience. Um, my daughter's room is right above me, and I don't know what, I think she's reading a book or something that is making her laugh so much. So you might hear her laughter. I'm not sure if my mic will pick it up, but it's so joyful hearing your teens laughing. Anyway, today I kind of just wanted to get a little update, see how things are going. I do have some unmasking autism kind of advice to give to lots of things. So first, I just kind of want to do a check-in. Hope everybody who is in the US who celebrates Thanksgiving, see how your Thanksgivings were. I think that Thanksgiving is already a really difficult holiday for a lot of autistic people. It's a very sensory heavy holiday a lot of times. If you're going to family's house, then there's oftentimes like relatives that are wearing perfumes that you're not used to, the different foods that all like mingle together and lots of different scents. And oftentimes there's like football games or Christmas music playing, which I don't understand Christmas music at Thanksgiving, but whatever. If not that, it'd be probably some other music playing in the background. And oftentimes like little cousins running around, which love kids, but you know, we all know they can be overstimulating, especially when they're not your own. And even your own can be. And then if you are like me, I was late diagnosed autistic with autistic kids who also weren't diagnosed until they were 14, Thanksgivings were overwhelming for me because my undiagnosed autistic kids were also very overwhelmed, which is just a lot. So, you know, all of that aside, this year in America with our political climate, and that I know has made going home for at least a lot of my viewers, because I think by now I have like weed out almost all of the MAGA, because I've made it very abundantly clear that MAGA is not welcome here on my page. Yeah, it's not a difference in political opinion. It's a difference in morality. If you can vote for somebody who is a rapist, felon, who disregards disabled people and people of color, you're just not welcome here. So with MAGA gone, the people who are watching me are the people who, if they had to go home to MAGA families, I know that could add a lot more to our mental health. So I hope that everybody was able to take care of themselves and hopefully have some kind of enjoyment over the holiday. My holiday was pretty good. Over the last several years, actually, I have been working to find a way to celebrate Thanksgiving that doesn't leave me like just utterly exhausted. So, you know, part of my autistic mask always has been perfectionism. And so, I mean, it wasn't that long ago where I was cooking the entire Thanksgiving dinner for my family and doing everything from scratch, like literally every single component. So when I made the green bean casserole, I made the cream of mushroom soup homemade to put in the green bean casserole. Like I made everything from scratch because I just wanted to do this like super grand meal. And then over the years, I have realized that I cannot do that. So I have pared down the menu. My husband, it's his favorite holiday, and he loves turkey so much. So I focus on the bird. I make sure that the turkey is like really good. And then I take shortcuts where I don't care as much, I guess. And so, I mean, I care, but I don't care. Like, I love my Meemaw's stuffing recipe. It's something that I grew up with. It's so good, but it's not something that's easy to make a small quantity of. And the last several years, Thanksgiving has just been my family for my mom and her partner. So I don't need to make a huge amount, right? So I've just switched to making a box mix for stuffing, and it's like, it's fine. It's fine. So that way I'm able to like actually enjoy the holiday, pare it down. And so we ended up having good time. I'm just thinking, because like I do kind of miss back before we moved to Washington, when I still lived in Texas, we would go to my in-laws' house, and it was a big boisterous day with all the in-laws and the cousins and stuff. And I would always be very overwhelmed. This was before I was diagnosed, but I also do kind of enjoy the big family atmosphere. But yeah, just, you know, at this time, we just don't really feel like wanting to travel back to Texas. So we've just been staying here in Washington for the last couple of years. Anyway, so for my viewers who are not American, I'm sorry that I'm talking about American politics, although it does unfortunately kind of affect the whole world, and it is adding a lot of stress to many people. But let's go on to the next thing I want to talk about, which is just, again, a little bit of unmasking. So my last video was talking about my birthday, which is this next Wednesday. I'm not saying that for like people to leave me happy birthday comments. That like is not the thing at all. Like if you want to, that's fine. But I am still working on like learning how to find a way to celebrate my birthday that feels good and not stressful. I've not come up with a way. Like I've gotten so many suggestions from so many people, but nothing just feels right. And I don't know. I just think it's still got more layers of therapy that I'm going to be working on and peeling back. My last therapy session, I talked a lot about it with my therapist. I think somebody said something on TikTok that really kind of resonated. And so I'm going to kind of look into that a little bit. And it's like, I know that when I start talking about my birthday, I am not a 40-something-year-old woman. My amygdala gets triggered, and I am acting and thinking like the hurt 16-year-old. Oh my gosh, the dogs are running in. That was Watson on his clippy toenails. My brain starts thinking like that hurt 16-year-old. So somebody on TikTok said the other day that when you have a childhood trauma, you have to reparent that part of you to kind of heal it. Or at least that's one theory that some people work on, right? And that kind of does resonate with me. I'm like, yes, that 16-year-old part of me was hurt so bad, and I need to find a way to reparent and heal that 16-year-old. Now, I don't know what that looks like. Maybe I need to rethrow my 16th-year-old birthday and like tell all my friends, like, I'm having my 16th-year-old birthday party again. Have it be, what year was that? Hold on, let me math. I turned 16 in 1995, so maybe I have a 1995 themed birthday party. That could be kind of fun. Maybe if I did that, I could heal up that part of me. I don't know if it'd work or not, but it's definitely something to think about at some point. I'm not going to do that this year. I don't have time. This year, I think my husband and I are just going to go and have a nice, quiet lunch out and kind of just have a quiet day. And I think I'm okay with that this year. I kind of paused there. Y'all know how I like to think out loud. And a lot of times when I'm doing these videos, I'm processing like so fast. And I was about to say we were going to go have a dinner out. And the thing is, something else that I've kind of learned about myself recently is that in the wintertime, going out after dark in the rain, especially because it rains here a lot, I don't enjoy that. I don't like going out after dark unless I absolutely have to. And it's one of those things that I would push through because like sometimes there's things that you do after dark and you can't, well, I say you can't live your whole winter inside, but in a way, I guess maybe I can, or I need to reserve those times when I go out for things that I just can't say no to. Because, as an autistic person, when you are trying to plan something, then you also kind of have to plan your recovery time from it. And doing an activity in the day, if I can choose that versus doing it after dark in the rain, for me, it's going to take, if I have to do it at night, it's going to take a lot more of my reserves and energy. And I was recently, like, I bought play tickets to go see a friend of mine was in a play, and I really wanted to go see it. I tried to get a matinee. They sold out of the matinee, so I bought evening tickets. And then that day, I spent so much anxiety knowing that we were going to have to go out in the rain, cold, dark, that I just ended up canceling on her, and I felt really bad. Because I hate, like, normally my old self would just push through the discomfort to do the thing. But this time I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and cancel, say no. But now I'm going to have this awareness to know not to plan these things in the future and, after dark, cold things. So some things okay. You get my point. Okay. So I, as part of my unmasking, it's like learning what types of things trigger my anxiety and then trying to figure out ways to minimize that, while also still taking responsibility and, being an adult about things. Like I said, I feel really bad canceling on my friend, but I know pushing through would have been worse for me. And so this time I did just go ahead and cancel, apologized. I still had to pay for the tickets and everything, but it was worth it for my mental health at that point. And then another thing I wanted to talk about is, and I've talked about on the channel before, is gift giving. And gift giving causes me so much anxiety because there's so much social construct around gift giving. So I have a friend who is allistic. She's not autistic, but she knows a lot about autism. And one day I gave her a what I like to call an unbirthday gift, because I don't like giving I don't like giving gifts that feel like they're obligations. I hate birthday and Christmas, like gifts like that. But I like surprise little gifts. For me, it's fun. And so she was really surprised. I gave her this birthday gift. And then I kind of explained to her, I was like, hey, I don't, because we're kind of like new friends. And so I was like, I don't even actually know when your birthday is. But I giving you this now as a birthday gift, and I may or may not give you a gift on your birthday, and I hope you're okay with that. And she was like, oh yeah, totally okay with that. And so we had like conversations about how I don't like gifts and they make me anxious, but she's coming to stay with me for a couple of days before Christmas, like right before Christmas. And so then my brain was thinking, well, it might actually be appropriate to give her a Christmas gift since she's going to be here right before Christmas. But then here's where my overanalyzing comes in. I'm like, well, I've had conversations with her about how I don't like obligatory gifts. They make me really stressed. So that means she probably won't give me a gift. So maybe I shouldn't give her a gift. But I actually had a really kind of fun idea of something that I wanted to give her. So then I'm like, and I was like, oh my God, I'm overthinking it. And then, what if I do give, blah, blah, blah. So if I'm like, oh my gosh, just unmask, like, don't pretend to be neurotypical and try to pretend like you can read the social situation, which obviously I cannot. I literally cannot read the social situation. So I sent her a text and I'm like, hey, would you like to exchange gifts this year? And she wrote back and she's like, yeah, that'd be fun. And then she took it a step further, which I didn't even think about. And she's like, would you like us to give us each other a little list of ideas? I'm like, that's even more brilliant. Because one of the things that stressed me about getting gifts is because I need to be able to incorporate it in my life. Like if somebody gives me something that I'm not expecting, my face can like show that I don't like it. But what's happening is I'm looking at it and processing like, what am I gonna do with this? What am I gonna do with this? Like I have to, like my bookshelf is really full. Like I have, like I have places for everything. And if I get something and I don't have a category or a place to put it, my face and stuff shows all this processing instead of going, oh, I love it. I'll figure it out later. Like, no, that's not what happens. What happens is I go, oh, I don't know what to do with this. And then sometimes it takes me a while to realize I like something. Like sometimes when people give me something and my immediate reaction is, oh, I don't like this. But again, change is weird, even if something is small as a gift. And so sometimes I have to process it. And then later I'm like, oh yeah, I love this. Like many, many years ago, the first time my husband gave me a Kindle, I'm like, what? No, this is, I'm not going to read an ebook. This was like 2003 or 2004. And now I only read ebooks. So pretty much. Anyway, I keep tugging on this one hair because, oh, now it's laying flat. Like it keeps bouncing up. It's driving me crazy. So I'm trying to think why I lost my tangent. Oh, so yes, we are going to go ahead and exchange little gifts, and I'm excited about it. And I love how she is willing to meet me where I need to be in the gift giving process. And the thing is, it's like, it's not that hard to communicate with somebody and be like, hey, no gifts, but people take it so personally a lot of times. And, I just wish that, people were allowed to be more direct. Like I've told my mother-in-law so many years, I'm like, no gifts, thanks. Like we have what we need. We don't need you to send us anything. But she, like, I guess one of her love languages is gift giving. So she wants to give us things. And I do appreciate that. I do understand that, like, some people get a lot of joy about giving to others. So I don't want to take that away. But that whole, like, balancing act of my needs versus somebody else's needs and, like, finding the compromise can be very difficult. But I found, like, with my friend here, like we were able to communicate and discuss and have a really good compromise that is going to benefit both of us. I'm really excited about it. Okay, one more last thing before I go, because this cracked me up. My last video was like 35 minutes. I was going to try to keep this one at 12, and we're already at like almost 18. But oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. I got like so many comments on my last video when I was talking about the length of my video, and I was saying, I'm like, sorry, this one's getting longer, guys. And so many of y'all said that you really appreciate my long videos, that y'all like to listen to me as body double, like when you're doing other projects, and that, when you see the long video, you get really excited. And that meant so much to me. And I tell you, y'all are going to create a monster because I love to talk. The reason why I wanted to keep this one short is because I don't have very much time today, where our plans are to go ahead and pull out our Christmas decorations. Just for anybody who's confused, like, we do a completely secular Christmas. We have completely appropriated the holiday in this family, and we have a fun Santa-filled secular Christmas. And if I'm not going to go on another topic. Okay, so, oh yeah, so I wanted to keep this one at 12 minutes, and 19 it is. Until the next one, guys, bye.